I often get asked about what type of soil I use for container gardening, and historically I always buy the cheapest potting soil that I can find. And then I reuse that every year because every season I amend it with compost from my 2-chamber compost tumbler. This tumbler really has simplified the process of composting for me. So as long as I'm composting, I always have nutrient-rich material to add to any soil. The design keeps all the materials contained so it doesn't draw pests, and it has 2 sides. So for example here, I'm putting my food scraps like fruit and vegetable scraps along with some eggshells in the one side. This is also referred to as green material that is rich in nitrogen. And it needs to be mixed with brown material that is rich in carbon, like all that shredded paper you see in there. And when the 2 mix over time, it gives you compost. To mix it, all I have to do is give it a spin, which is pretty easy as you can probably tell since I'm doing it with one hand while filming with the other hand. And if you look inside, you can see that there's air holes, and they ensure that all those helpful microbes that do the work of making the compost get the oxygen they need. Meanwhile, on the other side, I have an abundance of compost ready to go. I stopped adding material to this about 5 or 6 months ago, and it gets turned every time the other side gets turned. And if you do it right, you always have one side that you're adding materials to and one side that you're taking compost from. And as far as odor is concerned, the compost just smells like dirt. And the ratio of brown to green really depends on exactly what you're putting in there. So it varies, but I always find that I need a little more brown than I thought I did. So now I have a container with last year's soil that I added a bunch of my compost to, and I'm mixing that through. And to make extra sure that there's good drainage, I'm going to add some perlite. And when it gets all mixed together, this is my favorite soil. I'll throw some worm castings in there if I have them, but this is the best mix that I have found for the healthiest plants. I definitely recommend composting if you can. Tumblers like this make it possible even with small spaces. Thanks for watching and happy growing.